Bit of a different one today, very short update on Batman. Actually, there's going to be probably two Batman-centered-ish videos in a row here, one today, one tomorrow. So if you're interested in that topic, be sure to check back since YouTube probably won't show you what we upload anymore. But my passive-aggressive anger aside that nobody cares about except me, Batman Caped Crusader is canceled, sort of. If you don't know what this was, there wasn't a ton of information about it out there. And the whole story is not being reported by everybody. So I do want to cover that too. When I say sort of, I mean there are a lot of caveats to this that could mean this show could still see the light of day. This does not seem as dead as something like the Batgirl movie. So before we hop into it, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I appreciate you very much. Close to 111,000 despite YouTube's best efforts to absolutely obliterate us. So thank you for obliterating us in the good way. Batman Caped Crusader was essentially pitched as a spiritual successor to Batman the Animated Series, and while there was never tons and tons of information out about this, it was essentially a agreed upon, I guess or statement that it was going to essentially be a new continuity that was going to take the art of Bruce Timm, who was going to be involved, along with the writing chops of creators like Matt Reeves, who worked on The Batman, the movie obviously, and J.J. Abrams, which is the one that was a little bit up in the air for me. I love his work on the Star Trek Kelvin timeline. I know not many people here care about Star Trek, but I love it. And I actually did like his work on The Force Awakens. However, when it came out later on that he had no plan at all for it, I think a lot of people really turned on those movies and were unhappy with what we got. So I guess the question remains of what the quality of this show would be if it saw the light of day. Matt Reeves, obviously proven track record. Bruce Timm, amazing artist. A lot of people have some problems with when he's in a writing seat. But you know, that's just kind of what it was looking to be. It was more of a golden age take on Batman. You can tell from the costume, you can tell from the promotional art, and it was sort of going to go in that direction. And I believe that this was originally, now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was originally sort of picked up because of the short anniversary animated special that came out based on Golden Age Batman in the style of Bruce Timm's Batman the Animated Series. That kind of got attention for this at WB, and then it started rolling very slowly over the years. It was actually going to be, I believe, about 6 episodes so far. And here's the thing with it, though. It has been canceled from HBO Max. It's not going to move forward there, and I've seen a lot of people complaining it's canceled, which is possible. But the important thing to note is that the series will be shopped to other networks and streaming services. This is what's a bit odd to me about what they're doing right now with WB. There's certain things I can understand the decisions behind canceling. However, when you're wanting to then shop it to other places, that's what's a bit odd to me, since WB, you know, HBO is their platform. Maybe somebody can explain to me the logic of this down below. I don't mean to sound stupid. I did just wake up from a nap a little while ago, which is old people problems. But I would think that if you're going to end up releasing it anyway, you would just want it on your platform, because Discovery Plus is obviously still going to be a huge thing. I also understand that they don't want to pay licensing fees on a lot of stuff. That's why they lost some seasons of Sesame Street and some other stuff like that. They're really kind of, I don't know, I guess I don't like streaming that much, but it's a weird decision to me where if this stuff is still going to possibly be made, you would think you would want it on one of your networks or your streaming service to draw people there, even if it's Discovery Plus in the future, because they're probably going to roll, you know, that together. You'd think you'd want it there instead of possibly paying or having a competitor pay you, and then you put your product on their network. You know, this is something we've seen in the rise of streaming, and I know that Zaslav, the guy who is kind of making a lot of these calls with WB now after the Discovery merger, I know he doesn't seem to be a huge fan of streaming in a lot of ways, at least with fictional properties. Seems like it's more stuff with what Discovery specializes in, but it's just a little odd to me that this could still move forward somewhere else, because that was actually something that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about online, except for some major news sources and stuff like that. Ed Brubaker was going to be involved in this as well. Sorry, Brubaker, I'm an idiot and I just woke up. But with this, it's just a bit of an odd decision to me if they're going to bring it somewhere else. I do think one of the comments I've seen a lot of was that HBO Max, like 2 months ago, was one of the best streaming services you could have for value, which I really agree on. But now they're canceling so many things. They canceled like 2 Looney Tunes movies, which I'm not making videos specifically on, despite loving Looney Tunes, because I know my audience probably doesn't care that much. They canceled this project. They canceled a Batman Christmas special thing. They canceled the Batgirl movie, which was a huge loss for them, and they only got to write off like a certain percentage of it with their tax cuts. I don't know. I've seen very, very different opinions on what they're doing. Some people are saying like they're cleaning house, they're fixing it, they're taking away bad stuff. And I think that argument at least held a little bit of water with Batgirl, where like there were a lot of reports that it wasn't that good. However, I don't know if I buy those or not, because there were also those reports for Black Adam, which is still moving forward and got tons of reshoots. And then there's also weird decisions like keeping Ezra Miller. There's weird decisions like Amber Heard and not knowing what's going on there. The whole thing of them trying to salvage the Johnny Depp situation. Now Mads Mikkelsen even saying that Johnny Depp could possibly return in the future to Fantastic Beasts with WB. I guess for me, the biggest problem I have with this, other than the competitor stuff that we talked about, is that a lot of these creatives are finding out after it happens. I know that this is often what happens in the business world, but this is essentially akin to showing up at work and a box of your stuff is already outside with a note on it saying F off, you're done. This is what's happening to a lot of these people. Like, it's being canceled and pulled out from under them, and I know WB owns it, but it is a little douchey to not even inform the creators behind these projects that you're basically pulling the plug on them till later. And most of these projects that have been canceled, including Batgirl and now this, there's reports of the creators not even knowing until basically the public knows. I'm not really a fan of that stuff. I know that I don't run WB, but I kind of think you want to keep your employees and creatives happy. I don't really think it's a situation you want to be in where you're making enemies of like big names and making them feel bad and not want to work at your company. Because when you look at these people, you know, when you look at J.J. Abrams, when you look at Brubaker, obviously too, who's like a legend, especially in comics. When you look at Bruce Timm, guys like these, they can always get work somewhere else. You know, they are not small fries. They're not, no offense to the people on the production team, they're not small fry animators who are new to the industry. And it's like, thank God WB took me on to give me a job and now I get to work on this. You know, they're not people like that. They're huge creatives. And essentially what happens a lot of times is you've already paid a lot of these creators to make stuff for you. And all you're doing is essentially just pulling the rug out from under them, and they're not going to want to do it again, which can lead to revenue loss for you. I guess I'm kind of interested to hear what your thoughts are on this move, and if you think that it's a good long-term move along with the other cancellations, or if you think it's just something where you're essentially alienating creatives and driving them elsewhere. Interested in your thoughts on that too. So WB's kind of all over the place right now, and I don't really know what to think about it, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts down below. Is this something you were interested in? Is it something you still want to see somewhere? Would you watch it if it was on a TV network? I'm not trying to be like a dick here, but I don't think I would. I will admit my bias here. I was always a little bit butthurt that they were going to go ahead with the style of Bruce Timm and these really strong writers, but not set it in the DCAU, at least according to reports, that it was going to be a spiritual successor. I really don't understand why they don't keep continuing to expand that old continuity. It's really beloved. It's probably their most successful animated continuity that most people were on board with. It just seems odd to me that they were going in a totally different direction despite using the same art style and everything like that. But I will say I was going to watch it on HBO Max. I don't really know if I'd go out of my way to get a different streaming service or go get cable, I guess my mom has cable, but go somewhere else to watch the show. That's just not really for me. Maybe if it comes out and it ever gets a Blu-ray, I'd love to see it, but I'm interested in your thoughts down below. And what do you think is going on with WB? Do you think these are good decisions, bad decisions? Do you think it could help them to put stuff out there on competitive services and be paid for it? Or do you think it's just a bad call? Interested to hear your thoughts, because we're all just armchair business majors here, and it's a fantastic world we live in. So let me know. Have a fantastic day. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Also, my wife Jill just started a wonderful, fantastic new store. She started her own website, which is enchantedglamour.com. That's going to be down in the description down below. She's working on getting a lot of different listings up over there, including personalized pet paintings. She's moving into making stuff with resin, which includes coasters, I believe keychains soon, and lots of other stuff. I don't know if Jill wants to yell anything in here, but she is going to do stuff with repurposed, recycled comic books. So essentially these comic books, they were going to be thrown out or recycled by different vendors and venues, and we're able to kind of get a hold of them and use them for stuff like that.
And I still make awesome beaded jewelry, in case you're wondering.
She does make awesome beaded jewelry as well. I was just shouting out the new stuff.
That makes sense.
Anyways, check that out, please. We have a secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we played through a lot of different stuff. And if you're interested in Batman, we did recently wrap up a playthrough of Batman Arkham Origins there. And actually, very soon, we are starting a playthrough of Batman Arkham Matter of Family over there. So, thanks. I'm going to stop because my outro is getting longer than the video. As always, everyone, stay shway.